Hello again. My mum made me these gorgeous cotton linen overalls, but they were a little bit too big. So I'm attempting to alter them and make them a little bit smaller. And I never do alterations or anything. So we'll see how it goes. I did ballet like most of my life, so I did sew elastics and ribbons onto my ballet shoes, which is pretty much the extent of my sewing experience. My New Year's resolution this year was to buy as little as possible new or like first hand, for environmental reasons, for ethical reasons, for anti capitalist reasons. And I've done pretty well with it. There's only been a couple of things that I've bought new, and I've tried to still buy from not big companies. Like I bought a band t-shirt of a band that I love. And I feel like that's okay. I'm supporting someone who I believe deserves it. And pretty much everything else I've bought on like Facebook Marketplace or Gumtree, or I got Depop recently. That's fun. I got some new sneakers from Depop secondhand. And one thing that I've really enjoyed about slowing down my consumption of fashion in particular is that it makes me really stop and think what I want to own and what I want to buy. Because it's not just like seeing something on a rack in a store and being like, I want that, I'm going to buy it. It's like I do so much research before buying anything, making sure that like it'll go with as much as possible in my wardrobe. I follow this girl on Instagram called Lucid Seams who does a lot of upcycling of clothes. She does a lot of like painting on clothing, like on denim, and it looks so cool, so cool. I wish I could do stuff like that, but I am not an artist in that way anyway. And she posted something the other day. I assume she didn't come up with it, but this is where I saw it. That said that any item of clothing that you buy, you should be thinking that you'll wear it at least 30 times. And I think that's a pretty good rule of thumb. Something that I have been struggling with though, in terms of not buying anything new, is how expensive it can be to shop ethically. Obviously, the whole reason that cheap clothes are cheap is because the people that make them aren't getting paid for it. And I would love to just shop at vintage stores forever. But it's so expensive. I think the most expensive item of clothing that I own is from a vintage store. And to be fair, it's a jacket that I literally wear like every day in winter. And I love it. I'm in love with this jacket. But it was such an investment to buy this jacket from a vintage store. And also with that jacket, I did the whole thing of like, I knew exactly what jacket I wanted and exactly what color, exactly what size. And I found it, and it was the best day of my life. But that's the kind of thought that I'm trying to put into my fashion consumption now. God, I hope this works. I feel like this system of purchasing things and owning things really helps me appreciate the things that I do own as well, because usually I've put in months of thought into buying things before I own them. And it also really helps with not impulse buying things. I am running out of thread. Oh no. I don't remember how to tie it up. That looks pretty good. I've heard that a really good way to be ethically fashionable is to have like one style and only buy clothes that fit within that style, so that you're not seeing something cool on a rack and just being like, oh yeah, that's fun, I'll wear that, and then find out that it doesn't go with anything that you already own. And I would love to do that, but I have like 7 different styles, and I don't really want to stop having them. I like being able to wake up in the morning and be like, how do I feel like dressing today? Rather than like, what is available in my wardrobe to wear. So I definitely have a lot more clothes than I would like to. I definitely have a lot more clothes than I should. But I wear all of them as well. Like the thing with the 30 wear rule, I definitely wear all of my clothes at least 30 times each. I grew up with a lot of clothes that I could afford as opposed to wanted to wear. And that's made me really appreciate having clothes that actually make me feel good now. If I get to the end of this and it hasn't worked and I have to do it again, I'm going to be so sad. But also, practice makes perfect. Mistakes are just learning opportunities. It's looking pretty good. I mean, not on the inside, but it'll look good on the outside. This is going to take so long. I'm probably going to stop recording now and then come back later when I've got some progress to share. Hello, I've just done the first side. So we're going to try them on, see how it looks, and if it's terrible, I might cry. Doesn't look half bad. It definitely looks hand done, but that's wearable. I'm gonna go do the other side and come back. Hello again. I've just finished the second side, so let's give it a shot. Hello, how you been? Open it up. I am so excited. I can't believe this worked. This has definitely made me more confident to alter clothes in the future. There was one other thing that I wanted to mention in terms of ethical clothing consumption. This is not in focus. I don't know if that's any better. Obviously, the individual can only do so much, and it's more about the big companies that need to change their procedures and ways of manufacturing, and also it needs to be changed at a government level as well. So I like shopping ethically because it makes me feel like I'm contributing to something good as opposed to something bad. But don't get too caught up in it because as an individual, there's only so much you can do anyway. They're still a little bit big, but I'm quite happy. Anyway, this was fun. I will talk to you later.